Cup champion Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, Uncle T. Foss, in the house for D-Mac.
They grabbed me out the garbage can to come down here and join you. I thought we weren't on speaking terms because I was on the final word for 4 straight shows. I thought you'd be a little bit snippy with me. But you're a professional.
I'm a professional, and T. Foss, look. It's being a pro, right? We all know we show up, we get our checks. That's how it is. It's about the check, T-Foss. I've kind of done a 180 on that. We got Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here as well, but you're right, T-Foss. Being a professional, that's what it is all about. It's about the show.
You. I feel like that I have groomed you to be a solid citizen.
Well, the final word has opened my eyes to the business side of all of this. You know, things are different for different people. Let's just say it like that.
Rich, bitch!
And you can be mad about it, or you can go about your day. It's up to you.
Okay.
So
I'm just going to go about my day.
And that's what I chose. I'm just going to go about my day as well. No D-Mac here today, as you can see. Do we have a verbal Spenmo? Is he okay after being powerbombed through a table on the Impact Wrestling show?
He is okay. He's on the mend, but he is okay.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awful. Poor guy. He got Pearl Harbored.
They did turn on him. They did. There was a lot of stuff to get to. Some NFL news late breaking as we went on the show, too. Lamar Jackson has requested a trade. We'll discuss about that as well. The Final Four is set also. I do have a critical basketball question. Spencer Raxter, by the way. Throw up the U, Spenmo.
I got the U. That's what it's about, baby. Nothing with the U.
Can't imagine too many folks in the WoodwardSports.com bracket challenge presented by Gardner White had the U winning it.
I got the U and UConn, so I got 2 of the Final Four right. I don't know. I definitely didn't have Florida Atlantic or San Diego State. But.
Yeah, do you know ESPN had 20 million brackets filled out. Only 37 picked this Final Four. And they all must have been FAU alum.
Yeah.
Or students.
No, you know what, though? I heard that stat, and I was thinking about it, and I'm actually surprised it's that few, right? Because you had FAU in Purdue's bracket, so you know Purdue's no threat to win.
And FAU, you figure somebody else would win it.
No, but you know what, though, Terry? I'm glad you said that, because it reminded me, you know, there were a lot of media in this town, people that we compete against on sports talk networks that were talking and throwing shade at Gonzaga. You know what I'm saying? Saying, oh, they play in this crappy conference, and we overvalue them every year. When are we going to start talking that way about Purdue? When are we going to start talking that way about Purdue? Because Florida Atlantic's another team. They won 31 games in the regular season. They won at Florida in the non-conference. Did everything that you can ask of them. Why? Why were they so undervalued?
Let me educate you. We are brainwashed in this area, in the Midwest, by thinking that the Big Ten is great. But, I mean, when you look at college basketball, the Big Ten hasn't won a national championship since 2000.
Shout out.
Purdue is a perennial choker. But, you know, you got to go beyond that. Michigan State and Michigan, to a certain extent, are the only ones that have been consistent visitors to the Final Four. It's not all that in a bag of chips here. But even with Purdue in there, that's why I didn't think Purdue was going to win the Big Ten, because Matt Painter's their coach.
But they did
choke. They won it. So you figure if they win the regular season and the tournament, people around here are like, oh, this is the squad. You can't. Why weren't they a overall number one? We're brainwashed into thinking the Big Ten is all this great.
WoodwardSports.com chat. Remember, you can jump in there. Detroit Dabber 313 first in there, as is usual, says good morning. Good morning, Dabber. Good to see you all out there. Jack Harrington says Gonzaga sucks, Neal. No, Purdue sucks. Like, Gonzaga's an NBA factory. They've been to a couple of Final Fours. You know what? That's my point. That's my point about all this.
All right.
About this area and everything. No, Purdue sucks, and they won your conference. And they lose to Fairleigh Dickinson and St. Peter's year after year after year. No, Gonzaga does not suck. Purdue sucks. Iowa sucks. The usual suspects. Sam Flannel, am I obtuse here or what?
No, you're not obtuse. I actually have a crazy stat which will back up that Gonzaga is a much better program than Purdue. In this century, from 2000 on, Gonzaga has had 11 players drafted in the first round in the NBA draft. Purdue has had a grand total of, and it sounds made up, 2. Jaden Ivey and Juwan Johnson. That's it. And Gonzaga's been to Final Fours, national championships. They haven't won any, but Purdue hasn't made a Final Four under Matt Painter or Gene Cady. It's pathetic.
Really?
That is an actual stat. I looked that up specifically.
Wow.
Gene Cady never made one. Matt Painter's never made one, and Matt Painter never will make one because it's freaking Purdue.
There you go. That's it. And, it is. I'm tired of that narrative around this town because it's easy, right? It's easy and it's lazy, and that's what people like to do. Because you'd have to, make an effort to understand what's going on.
Maybe 15 years ago, you could say that Gonzaga sucks. Because guess what? I was on the bandwagon. So who's this team out west winning all these games? They weren't making any noise in the tournament, but then they started making Final Fours and making championship games, sending guys to the NBA. So you got to pay attention to them. Yes, their conference has 3 teams, but they beat all those teams, and then when they play the big boys, they beat them too.
There you go. No, you're absolutely right. Jonathan Anton says Big Ten's the most overrated conference. I will say this, that local fans, I've noticed this, they have kind of made the turn, but folks are being a little more reasonable about it. I have noticed that. Michigan fans, Michigan State fans are like, yeah, it's kind of mid. Because they are. They're mid. They're just another conference. Right. And you're right. That's the way, and that's why everybody wants to be all shocked. I will ask you this, T. Foss. This Final Four, you care or no? Because I got a overriding feeling that people aren't going to care.
I care because I have seen outstanding basketball games leading up to this. And I know FAU's in it. You expect them to get mollywop. But I don't know, man. This has been very intriguing to me. And I have a philosophy that I'm thinking that because all these guys are older, they have 5 and 6 years of college basketball, maybe that's why we're seeing better games. Because of COVID, you got the COVID year. And so now you're seeing guys who are 5 and 6 years in the NCAA. And it reminds me of one of your teams way back in the day. Wisconsin, Milwaukee made the Elite Eight. I'm
Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl. How the hell did they make it? You know why? Because they had 25th year seniors.
I think it's a little bit different, and this could get granular real quick. I think it's a little bit different, and yes, the COVID thing is a thing, but the transfer portal, which was reported to be the destruction of mid-major basketball,
that is true,
has been actually the opposite of that. Because talented guys that maybe end up at Power Fives that necessarily, they got to compete for a spot. Maybe they fall down the depth chart that are good players. They have an outlet now where they can size up a situation and leave and go somewhere else.
And a little pissed off.
Right. Exactly right. So, it's one of those things where we were wrong about it at the start.
Well, give it time. They'll screw it up at some point.
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Neal, one of the best examples I can think of off the top of my head is Jamal Cain. He started out at Marquette, never really was a star player. He goes to Oakland, has a great year, and now he plays for the Miami Heat. He's a real legit NBA player on a good team, on a storied franchise like the Miami Heat. So that is a great example. Someone that I know you watched every single game that he played.
Kendrick Nunn was another one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, it's true. You're seeing that knife cut both ways. But I get a feeling that people aren't going to care. Because much like the Big Ten's great, ... We fall for this all the time. There's no Kentuckys or Carolinas, so we're not going to care. Or Duke, so we're not going to care.
No, that's true.
People are programmed to think that way.
And here's the other factor. Everybody's brackets are screwed.
And that's another angle.
So they can't win.
Except for Spencer Raxter.
Except for Spencer is going to be interesting. Yeah, so you don't have the Blue Bloods. You don't have anyone in the Big Ten on there. And so, the interest will go. But I'm telling you, folks, be interested in this Final Four. Why should great games stop now? We've seen it all the way up until this point. I think it's going to continue, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler B says a Big Ten is a bunch of bozos, so there's that out there as well.
Thank you, Tyler B.
Ryan, Michigan hockey, literally the best ever hockey team in college. Here we go. Break it down for us, Sam Flannel. And look, Michigan Twitter is Michigan Twitter, but even Sam Flannel, who's an admitted Michigan slappy, said that Michigan Twitter was getting a little out of pocket this weekend about the Michigan hockey. You agree with that, Sam?
I do agree with that. And this is where I kind of had a little bit of a, dare I say, come to Jesus moment. Because I've defended Michigan vociferously on this show. But after...
Nice word.
Thank you, Spencer Raxter. But after that game and seeing the reaction on Michigan Twitter...
Hold on. Sam Flannel, sorry. Mike G. Frozen 4, baby. Also Mike G. Quinnipiac ain't no joke. The Bobcats in the top 2 in the nation. Michigan has a tall order, but the squad to do it. Here we go, everybody. Eat it up. Well, Michigan hockey, 248.
Well, that's the kind of thing. I know nobody actually watched or broke down Quinnipiac hockey. That's just a fact. Nobody even knows where Quinnipiac is, with no disrespect to Quinnipiac. It's the... I don't know. When I was watching Michigan Twitter, how they reacted to Michigan going to the Frozen Four, it was a little bit over the top because people were like breaking down the game mid game, talking about the forecheck. What are you going to talk about next? Their face-off win rate at this point. It's fine. We can all enjoy the fact that Michigan is going to the Frozen Four and watch, but we don't have to be obnoxious about it. The college hockey does not matter as much as college football and college basketball. It just doesn't. And nobody out there who was wilding out on Michigan Twitter last night really watched this team throughout the season. That's just facts. And if you say you did, you're lying. We can enjoy it. I'm going to watch. But it's not going to mean nearly as much to me as a football national championship or a basketball national championship. Not even close.
Now, I got a critical question. If Michigan were to lose in the semifinals, are all you Michigan people going to say, oh, they got screwed by the refs?
Well, I'd certainly hope not, but I can't speak for all of Michigan.
Because Michigan football has never lost a football game without getting screwed by the refs.
Well, that's according to some. And I've seen it. Obviously, the TCU game, I actually took I didn't personally take responsibility. I took personal responsibility for the Michigan football team not performing. That was me. But yeah, you see a lot of that. The refs screwed us. I mean, we'll see. Quinnipiac... I guess it's a tall order, according to Mike G. We'll see what happens. Michigan hockey is another school that has had some trouble once they make the Frozen Four. They haven't won a national since 98.
Yeah, they go all the time, and come to find out they haven't won a national title since the 90s, huh?
They are the Michigan State basketball of college hockey.
When
At least we got one.
Hey,
Yeah.
Michigan got one in 1998, so that's why I said it.
Or they're the Michigan football of hockey.
I suppose, but Michigan football doesn't even make it that close as often.
That's not fair, because Michigan football has no shot at winning once they get to the semifinals.
That is true.
And not only will they lose, I mean they get mollywopped for the most part, and then you get a quote-unquote easy test against TCU. TCU was in control of that game.
Thank you for reminding me of one of the top 5 worst days of my life, Terry.
There you go. I did want to touch on this real quickly, too. I've kind of done a 180 on this Aaron Rodgers thing about him being traded. Mm-hmm. I want him to stay in Green Bay, officially. I want him to stay.
I don't hate it.
And I saw this report come out, essentially, Jake Paul and Aaron Rodgers do peyote or whatever it is they do together.
Ayahuasca.
Peyote, whatever. Mm-hmm. So Jake Rodgers and Jake Paul and Aaron Rodgers are doing peyote together, okay? I want him to stay in Green Bay. And I want the Lions to just beat the piss out of him twice a year. I want that now. I need that now.
And what is this thing, peyote?
It's essentially the new version of peyote.
You know what it is? It's a website or whatever it is for people with big names who are essentially losers.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
All I want is these two guys together. They can do their peyote, and then the Lions can go in and kick the piss out of Aaron Rodgers a couple times a year until he hangs it up. That's what I want to see. Because anybody that rides out with Jake Paul and does peyote, I want to see them go down.
That's fair.
And especially if I got to hear about it. Don't want to hear about it anymore. But I do. It's weird. I don't know what to think about it. I just want him to stay in Green Bay.
I'll tell you how you should think about it. this community needs to stop thinking about Aaron Rodgers, because you hear from people, oh, I hope he leaves because now the Lions can beat Green Bay. Screw him. The Lions are building a team. The reason the Lions didn't beat Aaron Rodgers is because the Lions sucked. Had nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. You could have had, I'm going to steal my name, Poopsie McGillicuddy as quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. They're still going to kick your ass because the Lions were not a real franchise. Let me see. The Chicago Bears have won this division. The Minnesota Vikings have won this division with Aaron Rodgers in it. The only team that didn't is because of the Lions. Had nothing to do, I said had little to do with Aaron Rodgers. Had a whole lot to do with the incompetence of this franchise. So Aaron Rodgers should not even be on our radio. Screw that guy.
Real quick, before we cut to the break, Dan G. Quinnipiac is in Connecticut. People like college hockey, DCAD. Dan, you never watched Quinnipiac play this year. You never did. I don't know that for a fact, but it's a fact, I'm sure. You never watched Quinnipiac.
I watched him play like 10 years ago.
There you go. Hey, lunch. It's going to be in play soon.
Yeah. There's only one place to go if lunch is in play, and that's Cousins Bay and Lobster, because Woodward Sports loves lobster, and what a better way to get your fix than Cousins Bay and Lobster. With 2 trucks rolling around the city of Detroit, you can be sure to find the best lobster rolls, lobster tots, and lobster tacos to power through the day. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com to find their schedule, or scan that QR code right there, order ahead, and earn rewards. Make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Guardian Alarm is here to offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care even about Sam Flannel's flannels. How many days of flannel protection is that?
241.
241. So if you want that kind of protection, you can get it too. All you have to do is call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
One more time for the people in the back. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the Michigan coaching facilities, Juwan Howard. Don't think I forgot about you guys missing the tournament this year.
Ooh, okay.
Stay out of the Elite Eight, Big Ten. No, you do a fine job of that all on your own.
Oh, all right. Well, that'll do it, but make sure you call Guardian Alarm and tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
All right, we are off and running here on a Monday. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster here in the house, my partner in bourbon. We got Sam Flannel, we got Spencer Raxter, also WoodwardSports.com chat thread. All of you. Ryan taps in, says the Big Ten is a hockey conference. Can we confirm that? Is Michigan a hockey school now?
No. I mean, they've obviously been
I was told they are. I was just called the DCAT a couple minutes ago.
Well, that's another one of the examples of Michigan Twitter kind of wilding out about the hockey team. That's the thing. College hockey is not as big or as important as college football and college basketball. It's just not. Neither is college baseball for that regard.
Question for the room, Terry, and I lean on your experience here. Right before we went on air, the news broke that Lamar Jackson requested a trade. Right away, I say, hey, that's something. I mean, Adam Schefter's doing the tour around media and everything like that. I feel like that's newsworthy. Does anybody here care about that or not?
You know what my first thought was? Is the Lamar Jackson thing is still a thing? This has been going on for months and months and months. I'm sick and tired of him. Lamar, Get signed. Sign your contract. You're not going to get, what you want. Just sign the stupid contract. You got your mother representing you. You represent you. You're not going to get what you consider fair market value. I am sick and tired of Lamar Jackson. How many Super Bowls has Lamar Jackson won?
0.
Zitters. What's his playoff record? Not very good.
1-3, I think.
So everybody thinks this guy is going to come on their team and make them Super Bowl contenders, after giving up 2 first-round picks or whatever you got to get him. I'm sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson.
Got him! I mean, I know, and I know what you're saying, and it was always going to play out this way, right? Because perception is just perception, right? But leverage is leverage. And right away, people thought that the Ravens, they're slick. They're going to put this, non-exclusive franchise tag on them for $32-ish million or whatever the number is. And that'll show Lamar. And anybody that wants him's got to give up 2 first-round picks. Well, that was never really the case because, again, he hasn't signed that tag, and he doesn't have to. There's no repercussions for him not signing it. And everyone thought that the Ravens hold all the leverage. They don't. He's the quarterback, Terry. If he doesn't play, can they win? Because they have to hold that space on their cap to keep that offer, to keep that tag
all right, I'll say
available.
This. Have they won with him?
No, I'm asking you, though. Can they win without him?
No.
They can't, right? It's over.
And they can't win with him.
Well, I mean, if you can go back into what is he, like 42-20 as a starter or whatever that number is, you tend to win more with him than you do without him. Is that fair?
That is fair.
That's fair. If he does not play for them this year and they do not replace him, their season is over. Like how we talk about this with the Lions, with the backup quarterback and all this kind of stuff, and I say, well, if Goff goes down, you're sunk anyway. And everyone's like, well, no, they should go get Gardner Minshew, who was 0-2 as a backup last year. Or, no, they should go get Teddy Bridgewater, who didn't win a game as a backup last year. What was he, 0-4 or something like that? Like, come on, like these are facts, guys. I know it's cool to talk about on paper,
but you screwed no matter who your starting quarterback is if they go down or don't play, you're 100%. Not going to win?
Yeah, 100%. My thing is, like, as you look at this leverage play out, it's something where for the Ravens, it looks like they have the leverage, but they don't because Lamar's the player. And now that space is on the books. As long as that tag is out there, as long as that franchise tag is out there, they have to keep that salary cap space on the books. But he doesn't have to sign it. You see what I'm saying, Terry? He does have some leverage here.
He does. Here's what I like. $32 million a year is insulting to me. How dare you, offer that to me? And you're a flawed quarterback. But, we have a lot of expectations right here for the Lions, right? Let's say Jared Goff goes down in week 2 and Nate Sudfeld is your quarterback. What's going to happen?
You'll lose the division.
Yeah, right.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, and then we'll bitch about the Lions.
Just like when Tua went down for the Dolphins last year. It was a wrap.
It's
just like when 49ers quarterbacks got hurt. It was a wrap.
Right. So I understand that, yes, Lamar Jackson has leverage. I'm just sick and tired of Lamar Jackson. I mean, this dude has never won a Super Bowl, never been to the Super Bowl. But, if he's on my team or if he's on another team, all of a sudden that's going to be a Super Bowl contender.
What about this? Dave Swaniger, WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, Lamar's salary the last 4 years, $900K, $1.3 million, $1.7 million, then $23 million, $910K for a league MVP. Never made a peep until it was time for Baltimore to pay him. Is that fair?
That's fair. But you know what? You want to get paid. There is only one contract cycle where you're going to get paid muku dollars. I do not blame athletes for asking for trying to get that because, one, your rookie deal is big for us common folk, but in the grand scheme of things, your rookie deal is not that great. That second contract, if you're a superstar or very good, that's the one where you got to hold out. You got to get everything you can get because beyond that, when you're 28, 29, 30 years old, teams are kind of, okay, if we cut him, we can save money. So that contract that Lamar is negotiating now, this is where you got to get paid.
No doubt. And he's going to dig in for it.
Okay, but I'm sick and tired of him.
Well, but he's not making it this way.
Pay him. Pay that
You know what I'm
man
saying?
his
Like, he's not
money.
making it. The leverage is playing itself out. This was always going to go this way, Terry. It was always going to go this way. Now he holds the cards, because if he doesn't play, what happens to the Ravens?
And he doesn't get paid.
Okay. But he'll get paid by somebody eventually.
Eventually, but I want my money now.
I understand
Give me my
that,
stuff
Terry.
today.
I understand that. But so are the Ravens going to submarine another? Are they going to submarine a year over this?
All right. Now this is a little off topic, but I always hear, the player's going to give, like, if a Lions player is up, they're going to give the Lions a hometown discount. There's no such thing as a hometown discount, because Lamar Jackson has to get as much money as he can, because the rest of the players in the league are looking at him. They want salaries to rise. If he takes the quote-unquote hometown discount, he's going to have the whole league after him wanting to kick his ass. So each player has to negotiate as much as they can, because not only for them, but for the players coming up behind them. That's why Lamar Jackson, I think that's one of the major reasons Lamar Jackson is, holding out, wants as much money as possible. Because I'm sorry, $32 million for him is fair. $25 million a year for him is fair.
In a league where Kyler Murray makes 47?
Oh, hell no.
In a league where Deshaun Watson's going to make 60 next year?
But you're not negotiating for yourself. You're negotiating about against what other people are signed for and what other people want to sign for in the future. It's like Jared Goff. At some point, he will sign a $40 million a year contract. He will not be worth $40 million, but because of the
I would contend he will be. In a league where Kyler Murray makes 47, he's worth 40.
And you're making my point.
And Deshaun Watson makes 60, he's worth 40.
Deshaun Jackson and because of Kyler Murray have signed those massive contracts, then Goff would come in and say, hey, I want $40 million. That's what these players are signing against. They're trying to help their NFL brethren, and they got to keep boosting those salaries even though they don't deserve it.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
No, and that I understand that too, but again, in a world where Kyler Murray makes $47 million and Deshaun Watson will make 60 next
like a
year.
Movie promo. In a world where Kyler Murray makes $40 million. But, in the grand scheme of things, compare Jared Goff with the rest of the roster on the Detroit Lions. Tell me he deserves $40 million a year.
Anthony Patterson says you guys are overlooking the big picture. Lamar Jackson's trying to make a point. He figures if Deshaun Watson got what he got after all the legal issues, missing multiple games, so should he. Hey,
dumbass, listen to what we're saying. That's exactly what we said. I hate when people say, oh, you guys missed the point, and then they bring up exactly what we said. Listen to our freaking show. I'm sorry, but damn.
Tell him, T-Foss.
Paul Thomas says other teams making stupid mistakes does not set the market. Geez. Yes, it does.
It actually does.
Yes, it does.
That's exactly what it does.
Rough start for everybody here this morning, but hey, everybody's
one dumbass to screw up everything.
Well, hey, everybody can fix it by going to Seafood Fest at Big Boy. They have all the Lent favorites like the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, and the all-new fish sandwich. And don't forget the staple of all this. That's right, the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights. If you want to get tartar sauce for your fries too, you can do that at Seafood Fest at Big Boy. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. We find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. And while you're at it, you can pick up the Australian Gold Designer Skin Cal Tan or the official beauty lotion of Spencer Raxter, Swedish beauty lotion.
Oh, yeah.
ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Find out which one of the 27 Metro Detroit locations work best for you. They are your vitamin D headquarters. Chili Peppers Tanning. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
We are off and running here on a Monday. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports
And
Network.
you know what?
Yes, sir.
That little lotion you're talking about for chili peppers.
Yes.
That's exactly right. Because sometimes I pass Spencer, and he's a big burly guy. Looks like he could lift a truck or something. I said, damn, he smells like a cutie pie today.
Yeah.
That's because he's been getting that lotion.
Yeah.
The Swedish beauty lotion.
And that little tint.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, you put that on your arms, legs, face.
Everywhere.
What do you do with it?
Everywhere, T-Foss.
Oh, okay.
Every nook and cranny.
Yeah. He does that, gets bricked up,
Oh,
and
yeah.
away he goes.
That's what it's all
He
about.
does.
When I'm
Smelling
watching
like
the
a
U,
cutie pie.
feels like I'm in Miami when I throw on that Swedish beauty lotion.
Did you dab into it yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I know it got up to like 55.
I had to.
Did you get bricked up too?
Oh, yeah. Especially they're down 13, started coming back, busted out the Swedish beauty lotion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were back,
You know what
baby.
he should do? He should put on his little sumo wrestling diaper and put that lotion on him, man.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be hot around here.
Yeah, absolutely. I had it and I missed it. Someone mentioned the fact, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. My apologies that I lost the message there. Something to the effect of, we're in a world where Daniel Jones has a 4-year, $160 million contract, right?
I understand that.
Okay.
Once again, I'll say it one more
So,
time.
yes. You know what, T-Foss, you're right. It is insulting to Lamar Jackson. $32 million. We're in a world where Daniel Jones has a 4-year, $160 million contract.
Right.
And people want to type with a straight face in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, $32 million a year for Lamar Jackson's fair. Okay. I would never play for that either. You know what, T-Foss? I'm even more entrenched now. Thank you, WoodwardSports.com chat member, for bringing that up. If I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm never playing for that. I will sit out the next 2 years until I get my free agency before I do that.
Absolutely.
Daniel
Because
Jones.
you're not signing. You know what? I'm going to quote the great John Sally, who played for the Detroit Pistons. When you sign a contract, you don't sign for what you're worth. You sign for what you can negotiate.
Negotiate, 100%.
And Lamar Jackson, on the face value, is he worth $32 million? No. But because others have signed for $40 million and $50 million, he should get that.
And Ryan says,
He's just not getting it from me.
Ryan says, Daniel Jones was a mistake. We all get that. Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson. You think Aaron Rodgers is worth a $60 million cap hit this year? He seems to be pretty mid now. Guys, come on, get in the real world. Can we just get in the real world here? A couple mistakes don't set the market. I just went through 25% of the quarterbacks in the league, man. And you want this man to play for $32 million? Are you insane?
Mistakes do set the market. You have to understand that most of sports are run by imbeciles. And so they make mistakes. They make mistakes all the time. They pay people who are not worth what they're worth, but they get it. And so the next schmuck comes along and says, hey, look what you gave him.
Look at some of the media in this town and the money they make. You know what I'm saying? You can look around everywhere and get examples.
I wish you were saying, man, that T-Foss man is overpaid. I'll take it every day of the week.
How do you not?
How do you not? Yeah, that's right. WoodwardSports.com chat there. Brandon Speaka says, man, Neal, they really don't listen to what you've been saying. Brandon, speaking of like, I'm compensated to take it to the streets and continue this battle. So I will, T-Foss. I got time. Beautiful. I got time from 11 to 1 every day.
I know you do, and I'm sure Woodward Sports is so excited that you give them your time.
Yeah. Corona says Lamar's going to take a gap year in the XFL. A gap year. I've always liked that terminology. Yeah, so I mean that's what it is. Cartier says all quarterbacks are overpaid in this new market. Nobody's overpaid. Nobody in the world is overpaid. Right?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's right.
That's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's
all
it.
it takes
That's all.
is one.
And then there you go. So, am I better than this person or not? Yeah, you are. Okay, how do we keep score? Speaking of keeping score, I was stunned when I saw the DJ Chark thing, Spenmo, and you and I were talking about this a lot. Mm-hmm. The terms came out for the deal with the Panthers. It is a 1-year, $5 million deal for DJ Chark. Consequently, they say the Lions are in the mix for Cortland Sutton, the Broncos wide receiver. And Spenmo, I know you were bigger on Chark coming back than most. What was kind of your takeaway? Were you as stunned as me? I was
very surprised that he only got $5 million. For me, it's DJ Chark's looking like he wants the next contract. Is that what this is? He's going to go to Carolina. He's going to be the number one there, be able to show out. If he can show out and stay healthy, he'll get paid on his next contract. Because if he comes here, he's just in the mix. He's not a clear number one. He's not going to be getting the amount of targets he will if he's in Carolina. So that's what it looks like to me. But yeah, $5 million.
Who's going to play quarterback for them?
CJ Stroud.
Peyton Manning was 3-13 his rookie year.
Yeah,
Good luck.
He threw like 20 interceptions.
Yeah, like I don't understand that. Like being the number one for a rookie quarterback. When
you're still going to get more targets than here with an established quarterback. You're not going to win down there, but you'll get more targets, and so you take advantage of that. You're saying if they target me, I will catch the ball. Yes, we might get beat 35-25. That's okay. I want to get my next contract. Because here, I know we praise DJ Chark, little baby shark. He didn't do enough to get a big contract. He didn't do enough to get that second major contract to get paid. Now, he goes down there. It doesn't matter if you lose. All they care about is targets, catches, yards, touchdowns. Will pay you. If he comes here and is in the mix and may even be a better player, but if let's say he gets 50 catches for 800 and something yards, he's not going to get that big money. But if he goes down there on the team that sucks and gets 90 catches for 1,200 yards, he'll get paid.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned though. He got Adam Thielen money.
Yeah, and Adam Thielen.
Not even Adam Thielen money.
Yeah, he is.
Washed.
Broken down. Right.
I don't understand. I just don't understand the thought process. Maybe because Adam Thielen's going to be there for like 7 games, and then that'll be a wrap on him. But some people say DJ Chark only be there for 7 games. So maybe we did. And look, guys, I've always told you, right? Like I sit behind this microphone, and everything I say is honest. It's what I think, and I got that one wrong. Way wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Way wrong.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. Spenmo's in that camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, again, this goes back to the whole, and I saw a couple people go with this route where they were like, well, how come the Lions couldn't give 7? I'm not going to question the guy in charge, man.
How about this? Maybe the Lions didn't want to give him 7. Maybe the Lions are thinking this. Chark, what does he do? He goes, vertical. He does that well. Well, if the Lions are saying, we got that guy, Jameis Williamson. He's our vertical guy, and Neal, you'll love this. He gets paid a lot less money than Chark.
I do love it, Terry. I know you hate money, but I do love
figured
it.
You would. So they've already got their vertical guy. They want to put their money in defensive tackles. They want to put their money in defensive ends, linebackers. They want to shore up that defense because the offense was pretty damn good last year. And they also know at some point they got to pay your boy Jared Goff $40 million a year.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jonesy5182 says, I don't think they will, but don't sleep on the Panthers. They almost won that ish division last year. CJ Stroud is not winning you a division. You're not drafting CJ Stroud or any of these quarterbacks. You're not falling. And you know what I need? I got to get a graphic made up, or just I got to get Spenmo the screenshot. I just want the screenshot of the box score from Kentucky v. Florida. Okay. We need that as like a go-to. We need to get that in the rotation because none of those two quarterbacks that were on that field that day with the game that I watched burned into my eyeballs are going to take anybody to win a division in the National Football League. It ain't happening.
No, but the following year, maybe you can win that division. You don't draft the quarterback for this year. You draft that quarterback for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th year.
Right. So, it's just, I get it. If the Lions said, hey, we didn't see enough, I understand that. And we're never going to hear that. They're never going to come out publicly and say that because that's not the way you operate. It's not like they're the Tigers organization putting out a release when someone turns down a contract.
I am not a member of the Detroit Lions organization, but personally, I would not have paid Chark to come back. I would say, hey, thanks, buddy. You did fine, the best you could. I would have let him go, too. Because I got my vertical guy in Jameis Winston. I am putting my trust in him. I'm putting my faith in him. I moved up in the draft to get him. This is my guy. And I don't care if he tweeted that he wants Lamar Jackson. That doesn't mean anything to me. My thing is, can you catch the football, and are you like the little the little speedy guy that can catch vertical and make the defense have to adjust to the Lions? That's where I'm putting my money into.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DNC-ENT says the Saints will run away with that division at 9-8. And yeah, they'll win that. They'll have that wrapped up before Thanksgiving at 9-8 because that's all it's going to take.
I love that.
That division's as bad as the Tigers Central Division was a couple of years ago.
When Derek Carr is by far the best quarterback in your division, it's a bad division for quarterbacks.
Big Ten West or the NFC South?
Ooh.
3-1-3.
NFC South, probably.
Oh, God.
Big Ten West is atrocious. Yeah, but the Big Ten West, they produced Illinois, which had Devon Witherspoon. I mean, a very fine upcoming prospect.
Very fine local defender. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if people want a very fine insurance company, what's the move?
You go to Swiss Insurance, of course. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Terry Foster in for D-Mac, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. And here it is that the college football game heard around the world where Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, two guys that are dominating the draft discussion in that big Kentucky 26-16 win.
Look at that Anthony Richardson QBR
of 2.6. I watched it. I watched the game. I was like, man, everybody's hyping these guys up. I better lock into this. And I made it a point. I cleared the calendar that night. I bought the good bourbon for that night because I was going to settle in.
2.6 is average rushing attempt?
No, that was his QBR.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Oh, man.
And Will Levis wasn't all that much better.
Hey, but Will Levis looked like Joe Montana compared to Anthony Richardson that day, which is saying something. But I know the people who want Anthony Richardson, like Tom Mazaway, for example, will be like, that doesn't matter. Yeah. That 14 for 35.
I watched it!
Right, but did you see that combine? Did you see that arm strength, though?
I watched it happen. And like I said, I got a bottle of good bourbon that night and settled in, and I ended up drinking half that bottle because I had to.
Dude, for that game, you should have got Kessler's. you screwed up.
Smooth as silk. Yeah. Watching that game was about as smooth as a bottle of Kessler's.
Some Black Velvet.
Yeah, Mad Dog 2020 grape. Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Oh,
it's me and Jay.
Oh, God. Mad Dog 2020. That's what watching that game was.
You guys never did Annie Green Springs?
I wish I would have that night, watching that.
It's like an apple wine.
Florida would have been better off with Andy Green screens at quarterback.
No.
Or you a quarterback. Sure, you could have taken a knee 50 times and done better.
Philip C. says Old Granddad. Old Granddad's actually pretty good. That's about your best play for a cheaper bottle, in my mind. The bottled and bond, of course. That's what it is. Oh, DJ, one game, stop it. He's a stud. We can all pick out one bad game. You cannot pick out one game where any of these quarterbacks that are talked about being taken had a QBR of 2.9 for the game. You can't. You can't do it. Stop.
For a fifth-round pick, you can.
Yeah.
We're talking about top 6?
I bet Spenmo's guy, Clayton Tune, doesn't have any 2.9 QBRs.
It's facts. Clayton Tune's a baller.
Better NFL career right here, right now. Clayton Tune or Anthony Richardson?
Anthony Richardson.
Really?
Yes.
So you don't believe what you say, then?
I believe him a 5th or 6th round pick, yeah.
So you don't believe Clayton Tune is the truth?
I don't believe he is going to have a better career than
you got to
Anthony
believe.
Richardson, no.
Like Black Santa, Terry. You got to believe.
That's true. And he always comes through.
It is true.
But, you know, we have to understand that if you're picking a quarterback that high, you're not drafting him to come in and be a solid quarterback. You're drafting him to change or turn a franchise around, to elevate a franchise to great heights. You're not just picking a good player, because if that's the case, just get a solid defensive tackle or cornerback or something like that. But probably not at 6, but quarterback drafted in the top 5, this is a guy that's turning my franchise from mid to great.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. David Montgomery. Says, I can't wait to run behind this offensive line. And it's got a headshot of him, so it's got to be him.
You know it's him. Nothing's ever false on the internet.
No.
Everything on the internet is
David
true.
Montgomery, welcome to Detroit. Welcome to Woodward Sports Network as well. Appreciate you tapping in 11 to 1.
Hit the like button.
Yeah. Hey, David Montgomery, subscribe to the podcast. iTunes.
Yeah, 5-star.
Yeah. Spreaker.
How do you not?
David Montgomery, you know what he has a collection of? Bowling balls.
Does he really?
Yes, he does. He's a bowling ball collector.
I went bowling this weekend.
How'd that go?
I suck at bowling. Like, I'm really bad. I started doing the curve.
Are you a hooker?
I started doing the hook. My friend Dom taught me how to do the hook, and I got it a couple times, but a couple other times
you didn't.
Yeah, it went right in the gutter.
You had it until you didn't.
Yep.
I snapped that thing across a lane, man. It's great. Like when the lanes are dry, I got no shot.
Yeah. I suck at bowling.
I always pick the second little arrow down there and just try to figure it out. I'm a straight ball guy.
Straight ball? Mm-hmm. I have to use, and this is no joke, I have to use a kid's ball. You know, like those pink ones that are 6 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have to use those to make 10 pins.
Really?
Because I have to throw it so hard that it never gets a chance to hook.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's wild.
I am a big bumpers guy. Like, no shame. I'll use bumpers.
Hey, make it fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Neal, do you do the little bumper things in the lanes so you can?
I haven't, but I'm not against it.
Okay. So no gutter balls for Neal.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I suck at bowling. I got like an 86, I think was
86.
what I finished with. Yeah.
That is
emotional damage.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Detroit Dabber 313. Yeah, Old Granddad, Bottled and Bond, and Mellow Corn are decent budget buys. I like the Old Granddad. At airports, you can get away with Old Granddad at an airport for around $10 a pour, $12 which is good at an airport.
Yeah.
And you can just sit there and knock them back till you're in the right state to get on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's whatever that state is. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dave Swaniger says still having PTSD flashbacks of Carolina running for almost 300 yards in the first half against us.
Jalen Carter.
And Dave, great segue. Great segue, Spenmo.
Thank you.
I have not had a show with Terry Foster, so I don't know what his standing is on Jalen Carter. Terry, the floor is yours. Can you give us, where does Terrence Reginald Foster stand on the whole Jalen Carter saga as it sits?
First of all, the whole traffic thing didn't scare me about Jalen Carter. Where I got a little dicey was my man gained 9 pounds in a week, couldn't finish his workouts, looked sluggish, fat, blubbery. So that scared me. But still not a deal breaker. I still think that once you get a guy, let's say he's fat and blubbering right now and he's out of breath. He comes into this culture. I know you guys are tired of hearing that word culture. But he comes in this culture where he's going to be motivated, stimulated. I think he can still work out with the Lions. I wouldn't bring him to every franchise at 6, but I think he can work out with the Detroit Lions. Once upon a time, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Then the offseason happened. And then he raced his little car, and then he gained his 9 pounds, and now everybody's afraid of him. I'm still not scared of Jalen Carter. I'd bring him into this culture and let him roll. Let him get a taste of Dan Campbell. Let him get a taste of Aiden Hutchinson. Let him get a taste of all these other guys who have elevated their game and are serious about winning. In the NFL, I believe you do need an outlier or a few outliers of guys who have quote-unquote bad character, bad habits, and are bad news. But if you don't have leadership in the dressing room, those guys will fail. If you have it, those guys will succeed. I think Jalen Carter could succeed here.
So you think it's a culture thing here, like the culture, the grit, all of that. You think that would lift him up if it needs to.
If it was the Lions from 10, 15 years ago, I would say you absolutely do not draft this
Because
guy.
you and I have talked about this before, Terry. Before, when you talked about Lions and culture, I will not name names that you spoke to, but you talked to players that told you that word for word. This place sucks. This place is a joke.
And in fact, there was a little ritual that Lion players have. Let's say somebody signed a free agent contract somewhere else. They would go bowling or go to the bar or something, and the theme of that party was, hey, you finally arrived in the NFL. Congratulations. Because once again, and that's why I got my thing, the Lions were not an NFL franchise. The players were saying that. It's not a real NFL franchise.
Yeah.
So who am I to disagree with them?
That is true. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DJ says Tennessee released Jeffrey Simmons. He's a beast and proven. So, what's that?
Did they officially release him?
I haven't seen that has officially happened.
I know they were talking about trading him.
It was a discussion point, so I don't know. But for me, it's one of those things where you know where I stand. Again, going back to the Anthony Richardson thing, I watched it. I watched him against Will Levis. I saw it with my own eyes. Does that define him? Does that define his career? No. Is that a good start, though? I would be much more concerned about a player putting up a 2.9 quarterback rating in a game than a guy that showed up 9 pounds overweight to the pro day. I'm sorry. I would.
Yeah, they didn't release him. He's just available to trade.
Oh, trade. That's right. Trade. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I'm a little more concerned about. For me. But that's just me.
I agree.
I saw the tape.
I know you saw the tape, and here's the thing you don't see. You don't see eye-popping stats either. So that makes you a little nervous.
You know, it is. It's just that. So Yeah, but no, it's good. So you're not. So you and I think, are in the same place on it. If they sign off on it, if management and Brad Holmes and everybody says, "Hey, we can work with this guy." If Dan Campbell says, "You get him in this room, we'll let the room take care of him."
Right. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Because Dan Campbell.
You're not scared to take him.
I'm not scared. Dan Campbell.
You're stoked, not scared.
Yeah.
Stoked,
Dan
not
Campbell's
scared.
not afraid
Stoked, not scared.
to let it
Stoked,
leak
not
out
scared.
there. There's
Stoked,
certain
not
guys I
scared.
don't like.
Yes.
If he comes out and says, "I can't deal with this," then I don't draft him. If Dan Campbell's saying, "Hey, you know what? I can work with this," I'm going to trust him on that because of the way that the Lions are positioned now.
Spenmo, I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to let you handle this one first.
Okay.
Because I can't do this with this energy from now until the draft.
All right.
But I'm going to let you handle this one first.
Okay.
I will take it the next time it comes in, but I can't do every single one of these. It's not humanly possible, okay? So you ready?
I'm ready.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Tony, 20 tackles and 2 sacks. Give me a break.
We're talking Jalen Carter, right?
Yes.
You guys understand, like, Nakobe Dean. Best linebacker prospect we've ever seen. Oh, my God, he looks so good. Do you know why he looked so good? Do you know why he was so great at Georgia? Was because he had guys like Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
He's not an edge rusher.
Yeah, he's not an edge rusher.
He's not going to get 15 sacks.
He's not going to get 15 sacks. He's not going to... The priority thing you do when you're a defensive tackle is eat up double teams. If you've got a guy in there in Jalen Carter that is eating double teams, do you know how much better that's going to make Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston and Charles Harris and Romeo Okwara? Like, come on, guys. It's football. Like, football. Learn football. Not everybody's fucking Ndamukong Suh.
Thank you, Spenmo. See, now, am I right? Like how I lined that up for you? Are you capable of doing that 3 times a show from now to the draft? No, nobody is. Yeah. So that's how we're going to handle it. You
Suh
and I will
dominated Nebraska. Yeah, he was a Heisman contender. Like, he's a once-in-a-generational talent. Him and Aaron Donald. You don't see those guys in the draft every year. There's a reason for that.
That's right. And guess what? He got the hell out of here as quickly as he could. How'd that work out?
There you go, everybody. Real quick, Johnny Little. Anthony Richardson sucks. Being an SEC guy, I saw a lot of Anthony Richardson. He's absolutely not a starter in the NFL. Less than 50% completion percentage against Georgia, a basic NFL defense. So there's that. Again, guys, and I will go to that box score a lot. And I know people reminded me, Ryan Ermanni wants Anthony Richardson. Okay, I get it. That's fine. That even makes me more leery of it.
You know, here's what I don't understand. I'm not a draft guru, but I don't understand how you can watch a guy play 12 games in pads against real people with a helmet on, and then you think, nah, he's all right. But then you take that same guy, put on a wife beater and some panties, and have him throw footballs against no defense, and you say, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I want him.
It's like, go watch Jalen Carter's tape and be like, oh, no, he's not effective. He didn't put up stats.
Right.
Go watch his tape. Tell me you don't want that on your defensive line.
I want it.
I want it too.
I like working out at Planet Fitness, everybody, the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports. As you see here, just $10 a month, access to your home club. Get you everything. And guys, I'm telling you everything. You're not sitting there waiting for cardio equipment or waiting for weights. They have them for miles every Planet Fitness you go into. I work out there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, all the time. I have never once in my life waited for a machine, waited for a weight set, any of that. It's always been ready to rock. Planet. There's nowhere else, guys. For real. You want to pay $50, $60, $70 a month because a place has a rock wall? That's your business. You do what makes you happy. If you want to be smart about it, you'll be at Planet Fitness. You can become a Black Card member. Just $24.99 a month. You basically own Planet Fitness. You get access to anyone in the world. You go anywhere and walk into the Planet Fitness. You can bring a guest anytime you want. All of that. And by the way, the hydro massage chairs, the tanning, all that's included as well. You want to join? Pull in the parking lot. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. Or jump on that computer. Go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions.
featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Back at it, second hour of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Remember, you should subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast by Woodward Sports. iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify. Rate it, review it, drop a 5-star review if you would be so kind as well. We would appreciate it. Let's just say that. But we've been giving our thoughts out there. Lamar Jackson asked for a trade. The Lions' backup quarterback situation, DJ Chark, a little bit Jalen Carter as well. All of it. Let's welcome in to the studio. It's part of his show, but he had a busy weekend. Darren McCarty here in the house.
I just wanted to prove to everybody I was alive.
You are alive.
Yeah, I had a very eventful weekend.
Darren, I thought they were going to have to wheel you in, that you'd be in traction or something.
You know what, Terry? If I wasn't such a physically put-together specimen and psychopath, I probably would.
For those watching on the YouTube channel right now on woodwardsports.com as well, there's the photo from Impact Wrestling over the weekend. They were just north of the border. And Darren McCarty, you got
south of the border.
You got, well, technically, yeah. You got blindsided there. You went out there. You made your mark. And then you got put through a table.
Listen, I didn't really appreciate, and if anybody who follows wrestling like it does, it actually, Neal, on the real side of things, sort of popped me off because it's Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, guys putting everybody through tables. I got my comeuppance again. I know I was in the wrong because I shouldn't be in the ring, but I couldn't let see Tommy Dreamer do that. And actually, Terry, I jumped the barricade. He threw beer in my face. He took my buddy's beer and threw it in my face earlier and then slapped me. The disrespect. Yeah, do you believe that? So later in the match, I jumped the rail. Security grabbed me, and I wasn't going to fight them. And he had the balls, right, that he let him go. So I went in there. All I got to say, listen, I'm from Leamington. You know the way that I am, the way that I played for the Red Wings and stuff like this. You're going to get me. But I ain't going to get you. And the fact that I got my hands more than once on Bully Ray Dudley, I'm good. I'll take the table shot all the time. There's more to it, as you can see if you follow Impact on Thursday nights. So that, again, it leads into WrestleMania weekend, and I'll be gone to New Jersey this weekend with all the deathmatch stuff. So just going through a table, another thing. But actually, you know me, Neal, I actually dug it.
Now, is this dude
this guy, man?
Is he Bully Ray or Billy Ray?
Bully Ray. It used to be Bubba Ray Dudley in WWE, but they changed his name. He's the biggest bully out there.
Now, if the other two people didn't butt in, were you going to kick this dude's ass?
He was on his way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was on his way. For those that saw the footage, I tweeted it out. D-Mac tweeted it out. You were taking care of some business in there. I'll give you that.
I was taking care of business, but I got my shots in on him. And they had to come in and hit me from behind, and Terry, and I ended up there. And anyways, it was a lot of fun. You know, thank God to everybody who was there. It was over in Wednesday. Anyway, Slammiversary, that's their WrestleMania for Impact. It's coming back over to Windsor in July. Oh, there'll be revenge. I'm bringing out the Essex County Fight Club. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Benjamin Foe says, look like that ish hurt. Did for real? I mean, did it hurt, D-Mac?
when the adrenaline wore off, right? I immediately, you know.
It's cool in the moment, like you're hype and everything's cool.
When the adrenaline wore off in the middle of the night when I was sleeping, I banged my elbow harder than I thought I did because I couldn't straighten my arm. But good thing I'm Darren McCarty, you know, the proprietor of the Darren McCarty brand.
So you use the available tools.
I had medication available to take care of it, which it should be. But I guess, you know, it's like I would expect the guy who's put 1,000 people or more through a table to know how to do it. So even though I got jumped, that's the least they could do. It wasn't as bad as I thought, Neal.
Yeah,
so legendary.
It is, man. That's cool. That is cool. Rank that.
It's right there.
Was that better than scoring a goal, like a regular goal in the NHL? Like a regular goal, like
yeah. Even for me.
Yeah.
Even for me, you know, it doesn't take away any of the.
There you have it, T-Fox.
Yeah, but was it as good as the Philadelphia Flyers goal?
Absolutely not. Terry. I mean, that's the
there's levels to this.
And it was Turtleversary.
There's a couple goals that it's not. Any of the important ones that people bring up and remember, obviously not. Speaking of that,
Spenmo just brought it up. The anniversary, Turtleversary. How were all those festivities,
26 years. I actually got to spend it down to, you know, I had a wonderful day at down everybody Tiger Fest. A lot of people coming in, getting their tickets and stuff. So Frank Tanana and Dave Rosemond, any chance to get to talk to them. That was fun, but I got to say, it was one of the most low-key, enjoyable days. Actually, I got to spend it with my wife, so that's few and far between. So that was very enjoyable to everybody out there. I saw everything on obviously on Woodward Sports, but on Twitter, social media, and I love the fact of even the younger generation and talking about it and the way it's cyclical and stuff like this. So hard to believe it's 26 years, but I mean, here we are again, and I think it's important because, like I always say about that day, right? In life and sports, bad things happen. You can't lose respect for a fellow human being. And the fact Claude Lemieux didn't apologize. The big guy had to take care, and I'm a little biased because I'm the star of the show that March 26th, but what was done, and I was just there. There's so many millions of other people that wanted to get this guy.
Yeah.
So, I guess, you know what? I'm just used to dealing with bullies. Oh, you know what's even better? Like, you know me, Terry. I mean, I'm just like a light heavyweight and whatever. I'm going to get in there and do my stuff. Now Bully Ray's chirping George LaRock. Him and George LaRock are going back and forth and stuff like this. So they got a big Impact show coming in a few weeks in Toronto. I don't know, maybe Ty Domi needs to come out and beat up Bully Ray. Somebody else. Go get him.
DMAC, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Goodfella says, March 26, 1997 cemented DMAC's legacy. Going a little deeper on that, and I've never really got to ask you this question before. I would say the goal against the Flyers cemented your legacy because without winning the Cup, does March 26th hold the value that if you guys never won a Cup, March 26th wouldn't carry the weight that it does now. Is that fair?
The weight of March 20th, like everything makes it out into, if I'm going to talk in Terry and Neal language, into that top shelf bourbon. Right, it's the best thing that you'll ever have because not only did I slay the dragon, right, scored the goal, right, stayed in the game, scored the goal, which is whatever else. But what makes that the best is because of the finished it off, right, because we won the Cup. I didn't have to score that goal to win the Cup. I think March 26th, the fight is always the most important cyclically. But the fact that I got the trifecta, it's like the Triple Crown, right? I the Triple Crown. I get to fight the goal March 26th and score the goal against Philly. One time I beat a guy one-on-one. I mean, it's storybook. It's Hollywood. It's better script than any screenwriter.
If they don't win the Cup, the fight is just avenging what happened to Chris
fight,
Draper.
Terry, is this fair? The fight shows that, okay, they're not going to get pushed around. They're going to stand up for themselves.
Right, because
they're not a bunch
the
of
criticism,
sissies.
Not a bunch of Euros and
that
Russians.
Team, no, one of the criticisms of that team was they were worm boys. They're afraid to stand up for themselves.
It's a bunch of Euros and Russians out there.
And they don't care about winning the Cup, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But that fight show, if they don't win the Cup, it just says it's avenging what happened to Chris Draper. And it shows the Wings will stand up and bop your ass.
And
But the fact that they won the Cup, then that makes it historical.
An underrated part of that fight, and my favorite part of that fight, is the aftermath when the ref is just scraping the blood off with the ice.
You know what? Nobody ever talks about that enough.
Or do they talk about the fact when I smashed his face against the boards in the Comerica Bank sign, it hit like a paintball blood, and I signed it for Mark Gregory, president of Comerica Bank, and he hung it in his office. Anybody talk about that? I do on my comedy show. That's a little caveat.
I never knew that story.
Yeah, but here's the whole thing. You know, the way that the March 26, when I scored that goal, and this is the bigger thing, when I scored that goal at the end, and I remember Shanny Vladdy come in, it was the proverbial that sigh, exhale, holy cow, it's gonna be all right. I don't know what it means, but it's gonna be all right. And that was not just the team, that was everybody in Wingfield Nation in the universe. It was that black cloud that was lifted to the fact that we weren't, as Terry says, worm boys anymore.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Perg says the day Grinder opened up for Tommy Lee, that solidified D-Mac's legacy.
I like it, dude. I remember that out at Freedom Hill.
Yeah, there was a different story you told me on the golf course that I think solidified your legacy, but we'll leave that one for another day.
So I played a very minor. I played a very minor
I know
role
what
in
he's
this.
talking about.
This whole
That's why
thing
you gotta go to
because
school on time.
no, the night that Claude Lemieux hit Draper, I was one of 2 reporters that got to talk to him afterwards, and he was in the training room, and they never let us in the training room. So they talked to Claude Lemieux. His 2 reporters want to talk to you. So I'm thinking, no interview, but he does like this. So we went in there and talked to him on the training tables. He was getting massaged, and the feeling I got from talking to Claude Lemieux that night about Chris Draper was, it reminded me of the scene in Rocky where Drago says, if he dies, he dies. It's like this. He didn't give a damn.
And Terry, I think that, you know, where people should understand is the fact that you eloquated that so properly along with things behind the scenes. But this is where I tell everybody, don't tell me what, tell me who. And the fact that Terry had reported, and I think we'd had conversations. Was he really that dismissive? Did he really not going to apologize? And Terry's like, pretty much, dude, you seen Rocky 3, or Rocky, you seen Drago, if you die. He didn't care. He said, and I think, Terry, you're the one, and I always put this in, but like Claude's mentality, it's like you never would have heard of Chris Draper. You probably just made millions of dollars because I just let you know his name. Right?
I was shocked because here's what I usually, in hockey, somebody will blast somebody, and then after you talk to them, like, you know, I didn't really mean it, you know, we got to watch each other. But you get that all the time in the National Hockey League, not from Claude Lemieux.
I never heard the Drago analogy, and that's accurate.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the fact that he waved us like this, and then he was just so like, I don't give a damn.
You know what? In a weird way, and there's no way to say this without it coming off.
Not a weird way, Neal. It's the truth, the absolute truth.
That dude, if I'm a GM, that's the kind of dude I want, man. Like, he was a robotic killer, right? Like,
look at his playoff stat, and here this, and we talked about it. If you haven't seen, go to watch the Unrivaled documentary we did on the 25th year anniversary. This killed his legacy. The hit from it killed his legacy, right? To the fact of everybody came down because that's when hitting from behind and the stop and whatever.
Because going into that, he was a dude where everybody said you want him on your team.
Look what he did to us against Jersey.
Yeah, you want him on your team.
Right, you would want him on that team, but it was like drawn to the edge because it's a guy that plays near the edge. But to Terry's point, you want that guy on the ice on your team, but you want the guy with compassion off the ice. That's where he crossed the line as a human being. Going, you know, like he could have said it so many different ways, but I hope he's all right. Or, you know, and I didn't intend him to get hurt or whatever, everything that he said. It's the pompousness and stuff like that. So there's a fine line, right? There's, Neal, to your point, there's a fine line between somebody who's selfish and go in business for himself.
But he didn't
makes
care.
Him valuable.
And he
again,
didn't care about
it goes
all that.
back to, and not to the elevate, but it goes back to the conversation about Jalen Carter, right? If he passes the character test, listening to what Terry, I firmly agree, to the culture in Allen Park now, today, they can elevate and take him out, you know, surround him.
Yeah.
with that.
Well,
So,
D-Mac, I know you got to get on your way there.
yeah,
We're going to get to the break.
I appreciate letting me talk wrestling on my show. So
we'll give it to you this
Even
time.
if I can get 5 minutes of it or
I'm
whatever.
glad you're just
'Cause
moving.
I ain't going to stop doing the stupid stuff. Wait, it's my birthday on Saturday. I'll be in New Jersey with the death match. Wait till you see what I do then.
Happy birthday.
Quote, I ain't going to stop doing the stupid stuff.
That's how you got to live your life, man.
I can.
Dude's an icon.
Yeah, 100%. D-Mac, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for sliding through,
All right,
man.
see you guys.
Absolutely. Darren McCarty, everybody. Hey, it's his show. You know, why not let him on?
Yeah, we could have been dicks and said, "Nah, you can't."
No, we're good, bro. No.
This isn't the final word.
Yeah. This is not the final word,
Has
exactly.
Darren ever been on the final word?
No, he's the only one who hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, got a big project coming up, right?
Yeah, you got a big project coming up. There's only one place you can turn to, and that is obviously Alta Engineering, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job
done. Right. You got a bog project coming up? You better best call Alta. Give him a call today. What's the number, Spenny?
It's 844 go to Alta.
That's 844 go to Alta.
Alta Equipment.
That young man's hyped up
We're
too.
up time.
He's on one.
Matters. Oh
Good to
my
see you, bro.
God.
I am not going to drive next to him.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited playing privately in reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. T-Foss and I together, what, next 3 days, right? Or no, Tuesday and Wednesday.
I can't come Wednesday.
Okay.
Mom's funeral is Wednesday.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Our condolences, by the way. A lot of people in the chat thread, too, gave their thoughts and prayers to you. So, yeah, obviously you have that. 2-10-2. I will be out Friday. I'm going to Disney with the fam, Terry.
Oh, the big trip is coming up.
Big
this is
trip
when Mickey
to
Mouse
Disney.
is going to stick his hands in your pockets.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what, Terry? I can see, right? Like, I'm not going to let that mouse get me down, that I'm going to be in the warmth and the sunshine and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sweating that, Terry. All I'm going to do is try to make it a good fight. That's it.
No, you'll have a good time, but in the back of your mind, it's like, Mickey Mouse has got his hands in my pocket again?
Yeah, but I've already made my peace with that, though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when Spenmo goes to the bar. Spenmo, you know the difference between going to the bar and going to the bar.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
When you're going to the bar,
you got preparations in place.
Yeah,
a pound of water before you leave.
But that's going to be 200 minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 3. I'm talking about have a night.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like St. Patty's Day.
Bingo.
Yes.
So you know it. So you've already made your peace with it.
That's why I make sure the credit card is lined up.
It's paid down and everything.
It's ready to go. Yeah.
So you can fire bullets like that. That's what it is. But you know it going in, so you don't care.
No.
So you're kind of carefree. You're ordering up what you want to order up. That's how I'm going into this.
Okay, here's the only problem. At Disney, you won't even get a buzz for $200. You'll be paying this money, and you're like, damn, Daddy's still hungry. Daddy could still use a little drink. Daddy don't have a buzz. but everybody else is having a good time. That's the problem with Disney.
That is.
That is like when I went to UFC in Anaheim. I don't know if you heard that story, Terry, but I went to a UFC event in Anaheim, and I went there with my friend Mustache, and I was like, you go get the seats, I'll grab a couple beers, and I'll be back. And I go up there, I ask her for 2 Miller Lights. She's like, $38.50. Whoa, wait, what? I was like, all right. I bought them, paid for them, went down there, gave the beer to Mike, opened my phone app, and I saw I had like $500 that I didn't expect to have. So I was like, oh, all right.
Oh, we're cool.
Yeah, I'm getting drunk.
So then you roll back up and got more.
Yeah, I had like 7 or 8.
You know what's funny, T-Foss? Like, you give me a lot of ish about like being the salary cap guy and financial, decisions and those kinds of things. Along that ilk, I got a funny story for you. So like going into the millennium, the 1999 New Year's Eve, we went to see Metallica at the Silverdome. And obviously it's New Year's Eve. First off, the collection of confiscated liquor bottles at the security line was unlike anything I had ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like Total Wine. That's exactly what it was like. But T-Foss, so as you can imagine, people are in the party mood on New Year's Eve at a Metallica concert. Right. So the beer line was about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes standing in line. So I went up there, got the 2 large beers, and they were, $8 a piece or whatever they were.
That's a bargain.
Yeah,
that's a bargain.
I'm $10, whatever it was. I'm walking back, and they limit you to 2. And a dude at the end of the line goes, "Dude, I will give you $100 for those 2 beers."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I wanted to get drunk so bad, and I knew I had pre-gamed. I had pre-gamed and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I was put to a decision right there, and so it was just Ted Nugent playing too. So I gave them to him, and I got back in line and waited through, and then got 2 more beers, and then came back and sold those for $80.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
damn,
that's a
I would have done the same thing.
I would have done the same thing too.
So So I thought that I was kind of a sucker for doing that.
That's awesome.
Why is it like if you go to Bob's Bar and you order 2 drinks and Bob says $38, you're like, oh hell no, I'm not paying this. But if you go to a concert and they say $38, you're like, okay, cool, bam.
Supply and demand,
more for a tip.
Yeah, supply and demand. It's like the convenience store at the Marriott.
Yeah, my dad used to be like, oh yeah, we used to be able to bring kegs into concerts and stuff. Must be nice, man. Jeez.
Yep. So that's what it is. Yeah, $100 sold. Yeah, I mean, so the people are with me. All right.
Yeah.
I got it. That's cool then. I feel better about it. I feel like I cheated the New Year's Eve system.
Yeah, that's fire.
But, there it was. So I went to the concert for free in retrospect, plus some. So there you have it.
There's the new spot downtown, Sugar something. They got drinks there for $39 each.
Jesus.
Damn.
They're big, but it's still $39 each.
Is it like fishbowl or like?
It's a little smaller than the fishbowl.
Okay.
But it's big, but it's not like gigantic.
Yeah.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Johnny Little says, Neal, what's the Disney family salary cap? Family spending salary cap. LOL. The heavy lifting's done, right? Like the plane tickets.
The resort.
Tickets to everything, the hotel, all that stuff's done. But that's... all that stuff's done. Nick Tomasek, Ruhl family shirts at Disney. There has been one purchase that was all my wife.
Oh, I believe it.
That's all my wife.
I've never been to the Florida Disney. I went to the California one for the first time a couple years ago.
Now, I know you want your kids to have a good time, but you do not buy them T-shirts at Disney.
No, we got them already.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah.
They're the same shirts.
Yeah. It's just $50
Except the ones
more.
you got were probably $10, and they're $35 or $40.
Danny G says, Neal at Disney seems very bizarre. Is that bizarre?
Yeah,
no, not at all. Everybody who has a little cash has to make that pilgrimage.
Yeah.
I went with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time when we were in college. I went down to see my grandparents. That they live in Sarasota. It's about an hour-ish away from there. And we went over there. So it'll be my second time at Disney, but that was a while ago.
Yeah, I went to, like I said, when me and my boy Mustache went to California a couple of years ago, we went to the Disney out there, and they got the Star Wars land and the Avengers land. That shit was dope.
Yeah, I've mentally made my peace with it. This isn't for me. This is for the kids. This is for her. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I can do when I can sneak it in.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
freeze up golf trips. Freeze up a golf trip.
You know, and I'm fine with 100%. I'm fine with it. I want it to go well. I want my wife to be happy. I want the kids to be happy. And wherever there's a spot I could slide in, I did tell her though, the Epcot day, the drinking around the world, it's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening, and I'm doing it. I'm drinking, having a drink at every. It's gonna. I told her, I'm like.
We'll see how it goes.
We're gonna, I think that day it's gonna be like 92 down there too. Like we're gonna have to stay hydrated.
They have one of the rides in the California one where you pilot the Millennium Falcon. It's dope. It's really dope.
That's all I'm saying. That Saturday will be my day, T-Foss. That'll be the day that I do it.
You can't top what I did at Disney.
Yeah,
I slept with Minnie Mouse. Now what happened was when I was in college, I had a friend who worked at Disney. So she said, come on down, you can stay with us and, just stay with us and we'll go and we'll get you into Disney and stuff. So anyway, I was on her ride and Minnie Mouse was near there. And so I said, hey, what's up, Minnie? And stuff, and they can't talk or anything. But Minnie told my friend that I like your friend. So I'm like, hey, give me her number and let's try to make this happen. So I went out with Minnie Mouse. We had a few beers. And she came back to the crib.
And whatever happened, happened.
Damn,
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
I have to play this part of the clip for my wife when I get home tonight. I have to play this clip for her.
And during sex, Minnie Mouse didn't say anything. She was quiet then. It's because she's just used to not talking.
It's a character. Terry's like, oh. Oh man.
And I was scared because in Minnie Mouse it could still be a short dude underneath the costume.
Yeah.
So I had to get confirmation from
my
girl.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Rack says Neal is like Trick Daddy. Neal love the kids. Gypnus, Neal a true family guy. Greg Peoples, more importantly, Terry wasn't hitting it right. Is that true, Terry?
Maybe that was true.
Power,
maybe she was so young.
Power rank the three. This is a variation of Steven. You know what? We'll do it when we get back. Let me tell you about the sports marketing agency. Everyone's locked and loaded on that one. Oh, yeah. I got a feeling that's going to be a segment. The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. Helps address a stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or you know someone who's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah, we're back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. And usually, we try to do this show, and we shade more towards the sports, but we delve off into what's going on in our lives, and we talk about stuff that everybody goes through and all that kind of stuff. And for those of you just joining us, I brought up the fact that I'm going to be out on Friday and through next week up until opening day because I'm going to Disney with my family. And Terry proceeds to tell us about the time he went to Disney and slept with Minnie Mouse. Not figuratively, literally. And you guys, in kind, have responded in only the way that the WoodwardSports.com chat thread responds. Gypsniz, Terry has some mini mice running around Florida right now.
That's possible.
Steven Syret. Minnie Mouse greater than Chesty Malone, greater than eggs. Power rank the three. Minnie Mouse, Chesty Malone, and eggs.
Ooh. I have to put eggs number one.
Why?
Because
what puts her what puts her over the top,
it puts
so
her
to
over the
say?
top because she was unpredictable. I mean, sometimes when you're like on a road trip,
She would just show up at a hotel, random, in some random city.
Right.
Okay. That's why. All right.
So it's like you're in your hotel room, nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna watch TV. I'm gonna be bored that night. All of a sudden, her key with her is she would knock on the door, a little slight tap, and I would go to the door and I could smell her through the door because she wore a little bit too much cologne, but I was like, oh man, that
That's
must
eggs.
be eggs. I opened the door and there she was. So it's the unpredictability that put eggs on top. Second one, Minnie Mouse. Nobody can say they slept with Minnie Mouse. Chesty Malone is probably like 100, 200 dudes that messing with that.
Dude, for real though, Spenny, the man slept with Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, it's legendary.
That's goated.
That is a yeah.
That's absolutely
That's a stripe
goated.
not many men can wear.
No, absolutely not. Peaceful Tim says, Terry, you dog. Danny G says, man, I miss having Terry on the show. Zach says, well, gosh, Terry.
Hey, if you see some little brown mice down there, that's me. Little mice with afros, that could be me.
Big Play Jay wants to know, so Terry, no threesome with Minnie and Daisy Duck.
Oh, you know what? I didn't think of Daisy Duck. No, it was Minnie. And you know what? Minnie said when she did talk that if they found out, she would be fired. So I said, we're going to keep this under wraps.
Yeah.
She's like probably
the forbidden fruit.
About 80 years old now.
Yeah.
Lorena Rio says Spencer has a similar story with Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
I don't know who that is.
Take a look. Yeah. Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Oh, God.
No, we will not talk about the messages that compare doggy style to mouse style or anything like that. We're not going down that road. All of it.
Mouse style.
T-Foss is on fire today. That comes from Ryan. Goodfella says, going to get you all canceled. Nine Drink says, Neal, what just happened? I should have expected it.
It's going to happen for one segment.
Yeah. You know, I should have expected it.
It's legendary, though.
It is.
You can't expect, oh, yeah, I slept with Minnie Mouse. You can't expect that.
Whatever I want to do,
I got something else that you're not expecting.
Okay.
I got cussed out by a little person in the bathroom.
At Disney?
No. This was at 12 Oaks Mall.
Like, recently?
Yes. Now, when you go into a bathroom, there's like 6 urinals, right?
Yeah.
5 of them at a higher, a little bit higher. Then the 6th one is a little bit lower. So I went in and I used the bathroom at the lower urinal. And so I'm just, doing my thing. And some little guy comes. He's like 4'5" or something. He says, "You're not supposed to be on that urinal." I'm like, "Dude, well, why not?" He says, "That urinal is for little people and boys." I said, "I've never heard of that. That's baloney." And he said, that's the case. Why would they have the one urinal lower than the other? And then I said, well, I thought it was for people with longer dicks. Well, he got pissed. And he's like, you motherfucker, I can't believe it. You would, just be so flippant and everything. This is why they have this. And then he started talking about normal sized people. You guys are all assholes. You don't care about anything. I said, okay, stop, dude. I have never heard that the lower urinal
had restrictions on it.
Have you heard that?
I deduced that it was like a one that's for children. I'd never thought about the other reasons for it. However, I was never under the impression that there are restrictions on who could use it. If it's open, like you go to the ball game or something like that. If that's the only one open, it's getting used 100 times out of 100.
Well, his point was the other ones were open. I should have used one of the other ones for normal-sized people.
Well, you should have said that. Well, you did say there's something not so normal-sized about you, Terry.
Yeah, and then the guy called me. He called me a fucker, and I said I don't deserve that because before he called me that, I was thinking I wasn't even mad at the guy. I said, I don't know everything in the world. I'm learning something now, so I'm just gonna take it, and then, boom, that's it. So then he called me a name, and then I got pissed, and I'm like, I don't care. So, and the reason I bring this up today is because I was in a similar situation this weekend. All the urinals open. I just went to the lower one just in case my man was nearby, just to piss him off. So I'm using the bathroom, and then at the end I got a little scared. So what if another little person comes in? And then I called him a midget. And when I was telling the story to my kids, they said, well, Dad, you can't call them a midget. They're little people, they're dwarfs. I'm like, but he called me a dirty, a fucker. So I could call him anything I want at that point. So then they got mad. I got in trouble with my kids. I need to be more respectful and stuff. I said, well, dude, don't yell at me about something I didn't know the rules for. And you know what? Everybody I've brought this up to, every time I bring it up to a dude, they're like, I never heard of that.
I never heard of that.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Zach says Terry was putting the magic in Magic Kingdom. Steven Syret says Snow White better look out on T. Foss's next Disney trip. And for those of you just joining the show and wonder what we're talking about, T. Foss, I'm taking my family to Disney, and T. Foss said that he had intimate relations with Minnie Mouse.
But Minnie Mouse asked for it.
Literally.
I never would have thought about.
She searched you up.
Right. I never would have thought about, let me get with Minnie Mouse, because there could be anybody underneath that costume.
It's true.
Yeah, it could be some
Stoked Not
some
Scared.
short dude.
Stoked Not Scared.
It could have been the guy that yelled at me in the
Stoked Not
bathroom.
Scared.
For all I know.
Yeah. Or an ugly girl.
Sometimes it just corners me.
This is, I love this. This is great.
You know what? I made a mistake, though. If I had to do it all over again, if I slept with Minnie Mouse, I would have had her keep her little cute shoes on while we were booting those things. The little, the curl up and stuff. I like those shoes. I should have told her, hey, honey, yeah, we can do this, but can you keep your shoes on? Or at least keep her ears on, but she can't do that because the ears are connected to her face.
I try too, right? Like we try. Got great lines, topics lined up and stuff like that. And the chat just explodes. It just explodes every time. Every time the chat just explodes. And let's go Red Wing Sparty. Minnie Mouse must have heard T-Foss uses the urinals for big wieners. So there's that one.
But I didn't do it at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. All right, Neal, any Disney character that you could sleep with, who would it be?
Alice from Alice in Wonderland's pretty good looking.
She's cute. I think I might go, what is the mermaid?
Ariel.
Ariel. I think, I tried to get that. Because Ariel is black.
Yeah?
And she's on Grownish. She's really cute. She's a track star on this program, Grownish, and she's really cute.
Okay.
Pocahontas is a Disney movie, right?
Yeah.
Pocahontas
she was pretty.
cute.
She was pretty good looking.
Good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I've never wanted to hear anything more than that.
Stephen DeJong, Princess Jasmine. That's a good one.
Yeah.
She's a baddie.
Hey, Neal's gonna be scoping them out when he goes to the character breakfast.
That's what everyone's saying. They're saying you're gonna look at Minnie now when you go, and I will.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Is that Disney?
Yes.
Okay.
No, is it?
I don't know, but
she's
Jessica Rabbit.
The little rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit was nice.
Jessica Rabbit
she's a little
was fun.
hottie.
Yeah,
that is true. Somebody sell a haircut, please.
That would be
Please,
me
thank you.
this time, mercifully, of course. All right, so they always have me looking good at Lady Jane's, of course. And at Lady Jane's, you can come for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home, up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
That's
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, WoodwardSports.com, chat thread. Happy to have everybody in there. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster in for DMAC. T. Foster will be back with me tomorrow as well. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Rustin Burke says, little young Neal, don't you think? Alice, she was an adult at the end of that movie, right?
You told her at the end, for sure.
Yeah, how was Alice supposed to be?
I don't know. Brett Williams says, Neal picking a 12-year-old FML. Pocahontas was older at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, Pocahontas is banging John Smith. She's got to be old enough.
Thank
Okay,
you.
hang on. Let me
Spenmo
defend
came to
Neal.
my defense.
When you go to Disney, every princess and everything is played by an adult.
There you
So
go.
you're good.
That's true.
So you can sleep with any
Mrs.
princess you
Incredible
want.
that's the right choice, though. She's caked up.
Who's that?
Mrs. Incredible. She's caked up.
Got you bricked up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Terry, say that again. And I want to get a clean cut of this to play for my wife later.
Every female character at Disney is played by an adult. So Neal, you can get whatever you want at Disney.
There you go. Hey, it puts the magic in the Magic Kingdom, as we said.
But you know what? Neal is always trying to one-up me. He knows I slept with Minnie Mouse. You're going to be with Ariel or
Snow White.
Cinderella or Snow White.
Just like the final word. When you text me and say, Neal, I just want to let you know I'm going to be on the final word.
Don't get drunk and get with one of the 7 dwarfs.
I'll try not to. Well, speaking of that, and this is the last on this here. I do have a Lions thing I want to get into, believe it or not. Big Play Jay says, learn something new every day. The short urinal is a requirement of the ADA for any restroom with 4 or more people capacity. It's in place for those with dwarfism. It is also acceptable for small children to use. So it's true, Terry. You were in the wrong.
Maybe they should
I
put
was
a
in the
sign up.
wrong. The guy cussed me out. And did I deserve that?
No, his delivery was off.
It was.
Both things can be true.
Terry, I frequent the handicap stall to take poops, so.
Yeah,
Like, if it's open, that's where I'm
you know
going.
what? To be honest, I never knew that.
I didn't either.
No.
Boom.
So, hey, Big D Energy, entertaining and informative, as it were. Lions question. Look, we know about the big 3 rookies from last year. Jamison Williams, I think, kind of excluded from the list because, limited games and all those kinds of things. Spenmo asked a question. Between these 3, T-Foss, who do you expect to take the biggest jump forward next season? Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson, or James Houston? And I'm gonna usually I go around the room, but I have conviction with this one. And I'll tell you this. Do I expect it? I kind of do. Like, I think I saw enough to know. I think I saw adjustments in the game. Aiden Hutchinson can take a leap. If he makes a leap this year, he moves into stardom. Like, it's close enough to grab, I think, with Aiden Hutchinson. I do. Sam Flannel's guaranteeing 14 sacks next year, whatever he said. What'd you say?
13.
13
Which
sacks.
Spenmo actually said first.
13 and a half.
13 and a half.
Yep.
Terry, I'm telling you, if he takes that jump and becomes a star, it won't just be him. But if Aiden Hutchinson's at 13 and a half, 14 sacks, this team's the division champion, and they're hosting a playoff game.
Here's something else that I heard last year about, as a rookie, how often Aiden Hutchinson was double teamed. Now, if the Lions shore up the interior of the defense, he won't get double teamed as much. So you would expect him to up his capacity. And there were some situations last year where Aiden Hutchinson got sacks because other guys did their job, filled their gaps, pushed them into him. If that happens more often, then yeah, he could get his 13 or 14 sacks. So what you're hoping for is that the Lions become a more complete defense, and then the guy's going to benefit by his Aiden Hutchinson.
Sam Flannel, what mark me on this, man? You buying what I'm selling there? Who do you think it'll be?
Well, I believe it'll be Aiden Hutchinson as well. And the thing that we forget about Aiden Hutchinson's rookie season is that early on there was a lot of questions. There were some moments where he over-pursued. There were some moments where he disappeared in games. How much of that was his fault, I don't know. But there's an adjustment period when it comes to being a rookie. But the last, say, 10 or so games, maybe even more, Aiden Hutchinson at times was dominant, and his floor, you saw his floor as a very smart, very good player, one of those who had gap integrity, who could rush the passer, who could play the run, all of that stuff. He even had 3 interceptions to add a little bit of a cherry on top. So to me, it's Aiden Hutchinson because from day one, he is going to be dominant. Early on in the season, there were a lot of injuries. Charles Harris was hurt at times. The Okwara brothers were hurt at times. John Kaminsky got hurt at times. And if this year, if you have everybody healthy, if you shore up the defensive line through the draft, Aiden Hutchinson, he's going to be able to, maybe not get double teamed as much, maybe have some one-on-ones with some tackles. And for that reason alone, I think that he'll have 13 or 14 sacks. And I think this defense will obviously benefit from it because they will have now a dominant pass rusher.
And here's the deal, and here's why I roll with Aiden Hutchinson. It's something that you said, Sam Flannel, because when we saw that, right, we saw teams use his aggressiveness against him.
Yes.
To allow him to over-pursue, encouraged it, and he continued to do it. The thing that really, really took me aback about his season last year was you saw the moves and counter moves. You saw teams play him a certain way. You saw him adjust and have success. That's what excites me about him, is that he has that ability to adjust his game based on what the situation calls for. Because not everybody can do that, right? No. Like we see high-level guys that come into this league, and they're high-level, but they get played a certain way, and then the film goes around on them. And they can never really make that adjustment and be dominant still. He showed that, man, and that showed a lot to me. And look, was I worried? Yeah, I was one of those ones that was worried about it. But he showed us, to quote Rick Ross. He did it. He made adjustments and then made plays. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Chef Chris Smith says James Houston. And James Houston getting some love as well. And
I
Alex
actually agree with that. You were talking about Hutchinson, but I think James Houston should make the biggest leap because you have to understand, he was a situational guy last year. He was this guy that they just threw in and say, just go in and have some fun. Now they're going to put more responsibility on James Houston. I think he will take advantage of that. Yeah, teams are going to focus on him a little bit more, but I think now that he's going to be a main cog in the pass rush, he's going to be out there for longer periods of time, should benefit him.
WoodwardSports.com chat there, Peaceful Tim says, if Houston takes that step 2, holy ish, look out. And that was my 1 and 2 there. While I was talking about Hutch, I was thinking about James Houston just because of, people talk about, and I know it's a catchphrase, the bend, right? But that the athleticism that he rushes the passer with is different than a lot of dudes. The angles he can take, how low his body can get, just the overall athleticism of what he does. It's special, man. Like to think too, like they didn't know if they were going to keep him. Which, when you see him go out there and rush the quarterback during a game, you're like, how could that even be possible? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he developed and he showed himself, and, stuff happens like that. So that's why he can make the biggest leap, because nothing was expected of him last year. But now he's
he'll have to show the Aiden Hutchinson ability to where when things get different,
get more of an opportunity.
Get different? Yeah.
The thing that we don't know is sometimes when guys come out of the woodwork, they do fine. But then when you say, okay, we have expectations on you now, this is what you have to do. Sometimes they're like, oh, boy, I don't know if I can do that. They freeze, and they're not as good as we think they are.
Flannel, you look like you had something to say.
Well, the thing about James Houston, I know, Terry, you mentioned that he was sort of a situational player his first year. But if that's the case, he's one of the best situational players who ever played NFL football, at least as a rookie, because that man had more sacks than games played. So this isn't a knock against James Houston. I don't know how much farther he can go than that. Nobody in the history of the NFL has more sacks than games played. James Houston did for a whole season. I mean, for about half a season.
It is absurd. You know what?
Absurd.
It's slept on how good he was. For as much as we talk about it and as hype as everybody got about it, it's slept on what he did. It was incredible what he did last year.
He led the entire NFL in sacks per game.
Yeah,
he had a higher sacks per game than Nick Bosa.
You can't extrapolate numbers. For instance, sometimes one of the mistakes we make in the NBA is a guy plays 10 minutes a game in the NBA, and he averages
40 points per game per 48 minutes or whatever.
So, and then we extrapolate. Well, if he plays 30 minutes, well, that number goes down because now he has, expectations. He's supposed to do something. People know that he can do this, so now you try to take it away. That could happen to James Houston, but I think he'll be the guy.
Real quick before we cut to the break, QT says Houston will be still mostly a pass rusher. Acquire and Harris should get healthier and might get their sacks too, as long as it's behind James Houston. Like I'm for real with that. Like that. Hey, you don't lose your job to injury. Yeah, you do. In the National Football League, you
100%.
do.
Yeah, you do 100%.
That's it.
That's an old myth.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
That's why he took a $7 million pay cut.
Because he knows. And he knows Cintron's the official energy drink of the Red Wings, too. Right now, an exclusive offer for Woodward Sports fans. The limited edition Red Wings 6-pack sampler, $15 with free shipping. Let me say that again. $15, free shipping, right to your door. So if you haven't tried the great tasting Cranberry, Classic, or Sugar-Free, go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward and try it today. All 3 flavors, 1 Red Wings themed package. Why wait? drinkcintron.com/Woodward. You get the sampler box, $15 shipped to your door. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Our own Ermanni has started his voyage with Custom Health Centers, and he's got a ripped 6-pack overnight. Now we're just playing, but he is down over 18 pounds with Custom Health Centers. They have over 20,000 success stories. They've helped former professional athletes lose weight as well. The MVP of the Pro Bowl, Lions place kicker Eddie Murray, He's used Custom Health Centers to trim his weight. Rick Mahorn, NBA champion and Detroit Pistons bad boy. He's down over 50 pounds with Custom Health Centers. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health. 844-789-FIN. That's 844-789-8446. It's Custom Health Centers. Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster in for DMAC today and tomorrow as well. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well here in the studio as we wrap this thing up. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Detroit Germ says Houston is slept on because he went to an HBCU. Well, he was at Florida too. And then obviously Jackson State with Dion and all that kind of stuff. So the one thing that we know for sure is that cat's good. He good.
Because I think he got hyped up a little bit because he was with Dion. Dion is such a big presence in college football. Like I watch all his little videos at Colorado now. He's very interesting. He has interesting things to say.
Yep.
He's learning the campus. It's kind of fun.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Lorena Rios, what happened to David Montgomery? I don't know. He probably had to go lift weights or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably where
he's
he
got a busy schedule.
Yeah, he does. What else do we have on there? Thomas Perry. Shout out to Neal and Spence for the San Diego State-Miami nudge. My bottom line, thanks you. Dollar bills, y'all. The old get right.
Mm-hmm. Came through.
Yet again for the people. And I've noticed, Terry, I got a lot of interaction on social media. A lot of people were riding with the get right. We're 36-13. Let me say that again. 36-13. And oh, by the way, a Mountain West team in the Final Four for the first time ever. I'm taking the credit. I believe that I lifted up the Mountain West Conference over the last year here on Big D Energy. Is that fair?
Guess what? I can't argue with you. And I won't.
There you go.
Take full credit, but act like you've been there before. Let's be professional.
I am. I'm just stating facts. Everything is factual.
He's been there, what, 37 times?
39
times? Yeah.
It's 36-13. 49 overall. 49 games overall.
You've been a little smug though, but that's all right.
What do you mean a little smug?
He deserves to be smug.
You get right. Look what I did for you.
I did it for the people. I always do it for the people.
You did it for yourself.
I got two of the Final Four right. I got Miami and UConn in there.
Yeah, I had UConn in mind. My problem was I went with Memphis instead of Florida Atlantic. That was my, because I knew Purdue was going down. Obviously, yeah. I just went the wrong way.
And I had Miami versus Texas, and then Miami winning. So
yeah,
I should be. I haven't checked, but I should be looking pretty good.
Jeffrey Brown says Miami's going to win me the Woodward bracket.
Well, I took them to win too, Jeffrey. So I took them to win the whole thing.
Okay. What else do we have in here? WoodwardSports.com chat through. What about this one, Terry? Chuck Brewer. Actually, I'll go to Sam Flannel for this one. Neal, can we give credit to the ladies of the Big Ten for doing what the men couldn't do in March Madness?
I mean, Iowa going to the Final Four. Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's actually an exciting watch. I'll give you that. We got Maryland and Ohio State in the Elite Eight. I mean, hey, the men's basketball teams over the last couple of years have been pretty pathetic on a national scale, and it's actually, this should be a wake-up call. The ladies are getting into the Final Four, and you guys can't. I mean, what has it been since MSU
Big
in
10
2019?
is a women's basketball conference.
I guess so.
And hockey conference.
Apparently.
And baseball. Oh, wait. No, never mind.
Caitlin Clark, though, man. She turned it into a star.
Yeah, she's been a star ever since she stepped on that campus. And she used to just shoot the three, but now she's like getting to the
40-point triple doubles, man.
Right? So she's just crazy. Yeah, and passing the ball, and she's not one of those superstars that's just shooting the ball. She's playing overall game.
Michael Daniel. Neal, how about the Tigers? They start this week. Will Austin hit a home run this year? I don't know. He'll need to.
He's got to hit one.
He'll lead the team in home runs.
Him and I are tied right now for Tigers, home runs in a Tigers uniform.
25 plus.
You're calling it?
Yeah. If he plays more than 100 games.
Always an if.
Well, I mean, Yeah, if he goes down for the season after week 2, I'm not going to be like, oh, he should have hit 25.
Vince, how much time have you spent with Ryan Lentz in the past week?
Hey, Austin Meadows is good, man.
No, for the record, I actually agree that he could lead the team in home runs, but nobody is a bigger simp for Austin Meadows than Ryan Lentz in the entire universe.
When he met him, when he came into roast,
I remember.
Ryan Lentz lit up.
Bricked up.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely bricked up.
Now, you ladies going to opening day?
Absolutely. We'll be broadcasting live downtown.
Okay.
We'll be down there.
Sounds fun.
We're going to have to talk about the Tigers. You guys aren't going to like it, by the way. Just saying.
They didn't like it last year.
I know.
Don't lie to the people. I mean, that's the thing. Just give it to them straight.
A lot of the other people around here were lying to the people. I did not.
No, you did not. And you were correct, unfortunately.
It was pretty simple to me, Terry. It could have been a 15-second show last year on opening day. Like, we could have sat down. I could have said, hey, we're downtown, everybody. Welcome to Big D Energy. Opening day for the Tigers. Well, Jamer Candelario's a cleanup hitter. All right, have a great day, everyone. We'll see you later. Well, see you later. Could have been a real short show.
Could have been. Now, here's what I'm curious about. Last year, people were saying, well, you should have known they weren't going to hit the ball because they overachieved the previous year. A lot of these players overachieved. Now, this year, are they going to hit the ball because they underachieved last year? So you can play that game both ways. And they've been hitting in spring training. Does that just end once the regular season begins, or this
Who's going to pitch?
Well, they got Erod, Turnbull.
So Turnbull's back from his Tommy John?
Yeah, Turnbull's back. Matt Manning. They signed somebody else. I know that
there's 3.
Scooble and Mize are still on IR.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, start working back through that. Well, there's 3 pitchers that all have to stay healthy and pitch all the way till September. I'm sure that'll happen.
Yeah. Joey Wentz.
Well, instead of losing every game
Matthew
6-2,
Boyd. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they'll lose every game 9-7 this year.
They re-signed Boyd.
Yep. Gave him $10 million.
Yeah.
Which you were against.
It ain't looking good.
I mean,
when you start working backwards from it, dude.
Yeah. They're going to have a bullpen day every week, probably.
All right. That does it for the show today. T-Foss and I will be back tomorrow, so we'll spend more racks. So will Sam Flannelly. Yeah, you believe that?
Oh, wow. All right.
Time flies when you're banging Minnie Mouse.
That was fun.
Yes, it was. It was different. For T-Foss, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rasher, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.